What'd you do to your arm here, big guy?
We were just so ready to go back to work.
Install in reverse order. Thanks. So the mystery continues. Okay, this is part 2 of this Sprinter that was deleted. The first thing we're gonna do is try to call every shop that's worked on it. So that'll be 3 shops. The one back east that deleted it, the second shop in California, 4,000 miles later, and really actually 5 days or something like that, according to her invoices, a second turbo replaced in Arizona. So I wanna call those 3 shops. Hopefully they'll talk to me. These women are from out of town. They're either in a hotel or now, hopefully we'll be able to get them back on the road in a couple of days. We got a lot of work ahead of us here, but I'm nervous because of the pressure. They're from out of state. So let's see where we can get, and I hope this turns out lovely for the ladies. So looks like you're going back together. You got your intercooler?
Yeah, I just got my intercooler back on and everything.
How big a job? How hard was this? I mean, was it...
I would say that getting to the intercooler wasn't too bad, but there was 2 things on the bottom end that realistically there was not much options for me to make it easier. It was just kind of go down in there and just use my hands as my eyes and get some bolts started, and then also get a coolant line that runs down to the block down here. That was probably the worst part of it all.
So what you're saying in a nice way is a pain in the butt.
Yeah, more or less.
Okay, anything else you found on disassembly that you needed to take care of, or was that it?
After I got everything apart, I noticed that there was a lot of buildup in the hot side charged air pipe.
That one right there?
Yeah. So
okay.
I tried to clean it with oven cleaner, let it sit, and then I put a brush through there, and it really didn't put much of a dent into that. So we do have an ultrasonic cleaner, and I threw it in there for a couple hours.
Yeah, it looks great.
We pretty much got most of it out. I'm not too concerned about.
How thick was it in there? Thick and wet?
Yeah, it was. I would say probably most of the pipe probably had about that much, just a little less than a quarter of an inch.
Well, you talk about the diameter and a quarter of an inch. That's a load of crud, and the pipe's what, 2 foot long?
Yeah.
But I want to compliment you because that's the way you need to think. Because what happens when that comes loose?
Yeah, it'll just go straight into there, and then what's the point of replacing the intercooler in the first place?
Exactly. Guys, that's exactly what you want in your shop. You want a guy that's doing the work right. And Javis, I'm telling you, that was smart. So now you just got this exhaust side and the turbos?
Yeah, so now we're gonna put the DPF back on.
Well, when you say DPF?
Or we're gonna put the straight pipe back on.
The DPF housing. There is no DPF, dude. It's just a housing.
Yeah, that's true.
And we're hoping that this programming that this shop in, I think it was Tennessee or Georgia or something like that,
yeah,
that it eliminated this. When I say eliminated, they didn't do any. They still left their EGR cooler on here. They left the DPF housing. They still got the injector and everything, and the DPF pump. They put all that in there. They just kind of hogged it out and changed the programming. Highly illegal. I didn't do it. I'm happy to showcase this, but that when you guys do that, when I say you guys, whether you're the guy doing that as a tuner, or whether you're a customer allowing that to happen to your vehicle, you are basically saying, if you want, the manufacturer won't do anything with this. The dealer will tell you pound sand. They won't touch these things, is what I've been told. Our dealers around here, they won't touch them when they've been deleted. We work on them to get oil leaks fixed and replace them. But if they've got a programming issue in the computer, there's nothing I can do to help you out with that. That's illegal for me to mess with that. So we're hoping we get this back together. We'll fix her oil leaks, the boost will work, and we can get her on her way.
Yep.
So we're doing this for a little bit longer.
We went ahead and resealed anything on the turbo here that we felt like needed to be resealed and replaced any gaskets. Now I gotta make sure I got all my clamps tight and my hold downs. I'm probably gonna have to tighten this one up because once the turbo's on, I'm not gonna be able to access it. So hopefully I can get it lined up good enough. I'll still have a little bit of play even with this fully tightened down here. This is gonna be my main one that will get tightened after everything is in place. And then I also have to line up my charged air pipe at the same time, but I got the bracket loose on the other side, so I can move it around a little bit, so it shouldn't be that bad. I also got my new gasket for turbo to manifold already installed here, and then I have it kind of set up in a way that I can get to it once I get everything all in place. So it's going to be a little bit of a fight, I think, but we'll see if we can make it happen.
I think it's important, especially for people that own these, understand, you know, a lot of times people are like, oh my gosh, how could that be so much money? I want to show you, if we possibly can, why this would be so much money. So here's your DPF housing underneath here. And we've shown you the charge air pipe. Now, what I mean by the charge air pipe is once all this compression happens, we then have to charge the intercooler and the intake manifold on this side. So the charge air pipe is way back there. Earlier in the video, we had it all cleaned out, but we got to line those band clamps up. He's had to, if you'll recall, he's got the oil drain lines that are under these turbos. Well, the way they suck those up, and now remember, the problem with one of the problems that this thing came back with was a massive oil leak. I mean, this thing was just raining oil underneath of it, and it's because it wasn't put together right. But it's hard to put together.
Yep.
Because well, explain it to me, because you've got those the drain pipes that you're trying to suck up in there, and they've got these fittings kind of like this on them, you know, an O-ring, and then but you've got to grab this bolt goes completely through the housing, right? I mean, it's like 6 inches long.
Yeah, so it essentially seals the drain and the feed in one.
So once you've got the drain sucked up in there now.
Yeah.
But then you're gonna have to take this off, lay the feed back in, and then re-squeeze it together. After, we're not making this up. After you get your band clamps down in here, way down in here. Here we go. This is good. I'll wiggle this band clamp. See this band clamp down in here? That band clamp has got to, this is actually a big old round, a 2-inch round exhaust pipe, and we got to get that together, plus the charge pipe band clamp, get those all sucked down, then get these feed for the coolant. I guess it's so impossible, but I wanted you, not only mechanics and customers, to see, you know, to do something like this, you've either got to find a guy like Javis that's just so meticulous. He's gonna do whatever it takes to make it right. I mean, one of the places that did this was a dealership, okay? So I was gonna say the dealer, you know, and they didn't get it right. So I know you're gonna get it right, because if you don't, you're gonna have to fix that dang thing, dude, because I'm not, you know, we won't ship the car until we know it's right. But be kind to your mechanic, especially if he's good. Please be kind to him. This industry needs good men like this young man. Okay.
Cool.
Now I want to show you how ridiculous the factory manual is, because I mean, we got straps hanging here trying to line this stuff up. It's not easy. And where does it say?
Right here. There you go. So after you get everything apart,
remove clamp. This is how you install it. Install in reverse order. Thanks. Part one of this.
okay.
People, there was 2 comments that kept coming up that I thought were great. One of them is how awesome you are. So I'll have to agree with all the people. That was really cool. People were saying what a great technician you are, and I'd agree with it. The other one was, people were asking, how come we didn't clean this out? Now, and I thought, you know, that's a question worthy of discussion. The retail cost in this thing is just under $500, okay? So if assuming a shop's got a shop rate around $200 an hour, how are you gonna clean that and make sure that it flows all good? Because, you know, cleaning is one thing, but then you have to test 2 parts of it. The first part you gotta test is the antifreeze side, and why do you have to test it? Because I touched it. And this thing is a bear to replace, right? I mean, this is not like, you know, a 1 hour job to replace. In fact, it's a half a day's labor to replace this thing. So I've got a truck here that's got 400,000 miles on it. And we've got known, you know, obviously known damage to this thing. It's just under 500 bucks. So, you know, a little over 2 hours worth of shop time labor. So by the time I clean it and test it, I got to pressure test the antifreeze side, and then I got to pressure test the air charge side. And on top of that, I got to make sure that I got no debris that cuts loose and then gets sucked into the engine. Because once I start loosening all that crap up in there, if I don't get it completely removed, and then I suck some of that into the engine, because that's going, where's that going? That's going directly in the intake, right into the into the cylinder. All those things combined, I said, ain't happening. It's not worth it. Now, if the thing was maybe a couple $1,000s or even over $1,000, I think we'd have probably taken that option and maybe given it to the customer with the understanding that we were just cleaning and testing a 400,000 mile old intercooler. But for the cost of a brand new one, for the peace of mind and the security that these ladies get, is it really worth attempt to clean it? And then I clean it and there's an issue, I spent all that time and I got nothing. If I get a new one from the dealer and there's an issue with it, it's under warranty, I'm covered. That's why I didn't clean it. You're getting your butt handed to you, aren't you?
Yeah, it's just everything has hold down clamps, like, so everything goes through, and then you go through the bottom to hold down everything to keep it in place. And it's just, there was a bunch of missing bolts. I've replaced at least 6 or 7 bolts that just weren't even there. Probably helped me come apart a little bit quicker at the end of the day. But I'm just making sure everything's, you know, not going to be bouncing around and getting everything lined properly. So, yeah. But we're getting real close.
I tell you what, here's what I want you to do. You're getting close. You're getting real close. Once we get it all together, I want you to take it on a quick test drive around here, you know, up to Farmington and back, and that's, you know, 10 miles or something like that. Mm-hmm. Then pull it back in. Let's double check, make sure we got no runs, drips, or errors, and no check engine light. And if you do, then what I want you to do is I want you to take it up to Park City. Okay. I want you to pull Parley's Canyon. You guys, you know, you guys don't know this, but from Salt Lake City, the valley floor, up to Park City it's I-80. It's Parley's Canyon. That's a beast of a pull. I mean, on a hot summer day, man, you'll see semis, trucks, trailers, everybody, they're pulled over. They don't make the top of that pass without, I mean, it will brutalize a system if it's not to tip-top shape. So that's what I want you to do to test drive this and confirm our last C, confirm the repair. Okay. I want to do that for these women so that when we give it back to them, we can sleep at night and they can too. Okay. Okay?
Yeah,
all right.
That sounds good.
Cool, dude. Sandra might have told you, okay, I'm the third shop now to work on this turbo issue that you guys saw back in, it looks like June 15th. Yeah. The ticket that I have shows a total of 7,900 and change, but all I have is, like, I don't even know what page it is. It's probably the final page. It just says check engine, replace turbo, replace DPF, replace catalyst, and it's the labor's 2,800 and the parts come to 4,700, but I don't have a parts list. And my issue is the DPF and the catalyst are completely empty. And I bore scoped, I ran down the charge pipe around the back of the motor and I looked at the intercooler. The intercooler is plugged up. It looks like tar in there. It's so bad. So
I didn't touch any of that.
Yeah, okay. Well, I would recommend, tell your guys next time, take a bore scope and look at that charge because when a turbo fails, all that oil from the fail. Do you know why? I mean, why was her turbo replaced, the one you replaced? Had it failed and was it leaking oil internally?
The turbo had failed, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, my assessment of that is you have to take responsibility for your guys in the shop. You don't want to throw them under the bus, you know, but you have to hold them to task. And that's why it's so much easier to do now than it was 20 years ago. We call them digital inspections. we make sure that every job that we do, the technician has photos, video of things. And in this situation, Javis did what he was supposed to do. He bore scoped. You know, you want to make sure that the turbo is here and it's pushing air somewhere, usually through an intercooler, that radiator style thing, and then it goes through there to cool the air off, because anytime you compress a gas, it generates heat. So that's what an intercooler does. It cools that air off. So by the time it gets into the engine, it's not, 300 degrees of hot air. It's as cold as it can be, which is more dense, and it creates better horsepower. But you got to make sure that that whole pathway flows correctly. And it literally takes 5 minutes with a bore scope. Train your technicians to verify that kind of stuff, and your shop will run a lot smoother.
Toby.
Hey, hi. Hey, this is Dave from Dave's Auto in Centerville, Utah. What I'm trying to get at here is, can you recall why you guys replaced that turbo, the second turbo? What was the customer's complaint?
So the turbo had a lack of power. The vanes on the turbo, it had some play internally in it. We did find that the, let me go back here and just pull up the notes. I'm just trying to go off of memory currently.
Sure, no problem. Take your time.
I believe the intercooler was also packed full of oil, and it didn't have much airflow through it, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so what what did you do about? Because I don't see. Now I have a parts list that she provided. It looks like you gave her just a copy of. You bought your parts from Mercedes-Benz. That intercooler that I took off, because when we, so the reason we saw the van originally was no power, massive oil leak. And when I say massive, I'm talking massive, dude. This thing is raining underneath it. I don't know if you work.
Bottom of the turbo.
Yeah. So were you the tech on this, Toby?
No, I'm the operations manager,
Okay.
but I mean, obviously I was pretty informed on that because we actually replaced that line twice here, because the first time we reinstalled the original line and it ended up broken and leaking oil about 150 miles away, so we towed her back here and replaced it at no cost to her, and apparently it broke again.
Yeah. Well, it didn't break. We don't have a break in the line. This is the first 2-liter we've ever worked on with turbos. We've done some other work on it, but we haven't had the turbo off.
Well, so
And it's a
one
hook.
of the issues that we found was that that return line under the bottom of the turbo, and I actually talked to the Mercedes Sprinter dealer here in town, and it's a known issue that there's a Y in that'll actually crack and leak.
Ah, okay. There is a
And
yeah.
And that's where it failed, and like I said, we ended up putting one on it under warranty for her, and that had resolved the oil leak. So I also know that van was deleted too.
Right. We found that out. Yes.
So, I mean, that adds a little bit of complication because that was done in some place in, I believe.
Yes. Right.
So,
Yeah. I haven't been able to, you're on point. You're right about all that, because I'm, if you know me, I'm a hardcore guy. I want to fix stuff right. And
yeah, no, and like I said, the last I had talked to him, everything was running good, and there was no other leaks. So, man, that was a month and a half ago, I guess at this point. It was the beginning of July.
Yeah, almost 2
when I talked to him. But, so like I said, I do know for a fact that the intercooler was replaced. It's down on the driver's side. You got to take quite a bit of stuff off to get to it.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's over there on the intake side underneath the ECM. But, and I, again, do you have an invoice for the intercooler?
I'm sure that I could call Mercedes. Like I said, it was kind of an interesting chain of events with them having 2 other shops work on it previously, and having some of the stuff deleted on it, and we were experiencing a lot of back pressure issues because when the delete was done, all they did was drill a small hole through the DPF, and it ended up coming apart and plugging up the exhaust pipe.
Okay,
So originally we thought that that's what caused the second turbo to fail was excessive back pressure.
so when you're, okay, slow down here because this is important. So the DPF delete, when you got it, had already been done, but you're saying the substrate had only been like a small hole drilled through it because it's totally gone now.
So we opened it up and cleaned out the rest of it.
Okay.
Because like I said, it was plugged up because the material came apart, and it was just chunks down because there's a butterfly valve down in the exhaust. I don't know, midway.
Okay.
And it was
Full of
all the DPF material was packed down into that that butterfly valve.
Okay.
And I mean, they came in with all kinds of problems with lack of boost pressure, and like I said, the exhaust was plugged up. The face of the charge air cooler or intercooler was, I mean, just packed full of oil.
That's what it
It
looked.
almost looked like lintish, like almost a hairy substance too.
Yeah, that's dude. You're describing what I'm looking at.
And that's, like I said, that's why we changed the intercooler, thinking, okay, well, obviously, if that turbo, when it failed, it, pushed all the oil into the face of the charge air cooler, and now it can't breathe. Now the engine's starving for air.
Yeah, the guy in California, he didn't really know much about it. He had some other guy do it. He wasn't involved in it, and he said I tell him to check the intercooler, but I don't know whether he did or not. So it wasn't replaced. It wasn't replaced.
I can almost guarantee they didn't check that intercooler because there's no way I would have let it leave like that, putting a $3,000 or $4,000 turbo on it.
You sound like a guy. You're going to do what it takes to make the job right, and I applaud you for that. So thank you.
Well, we definitely try, and I appreciate what you do. I mean, like I said, I've definitely seen you guys' videos, and I like how in-depth you guys get. So
we try, but please, everybody out there, you got this. We're not perfect. Okay. Thanks.
Mistakes, but
Yeah.
like I said, we went through that thing with a comb trying to figure out everything that was going on. We did what we could find wrong with it, and it was running great when she left here. She made it to California, and I think up to Washington and stuff. So.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what all's going on, but
Well, it looks like it's in my court now, so we'll try to figure it out. Toby, thank you, man.
yep, have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. Well, what have we found out here? First place that did the delete, first off, violated federal law, and they didn't even do it right because this guy found out that they just drilled a hole through the DPF, so the substrate starts coming. That substrate is like a honeycomb. It looks just like a honeycomb, and when you crack it and stuff, it just starts to crumble, and all that crumbly stuff gets in the exhaust pipe and it plugs things up. So that's a problem. Then the second place did not run a bore scope to check that intercooler. And when this guy gets it, and he said the vein, something wasn't right with the turbo and all that. He says the intercooler was replaced. I'm still going to I'm going to call her right now and see if she's got that intercooler, and I want to look at it because you guys have seen my pictures of that intercooler. That thing looks like it's been on there forever. So I am a little concerned, like, why are we wiping out intercoolers with oil when we pulled that turbo off and we saw no oil? So the mystery continues. So I just got off the phone with Angela on the Sprinter. I told you to replace the intercooler because it's dirty.
Yep.
And I don't see a build intercooler on the invoice for her parts from the place. There's no intercooler on that. And I said something to her just now because I'm talking to her, giving her the story. Because I just been on the phone for like over an hour at this shop. My brain hurts. And she said that she argued with you. That she told you that no, we replaced that intercooler. Did she tell you that?
She did tell us that they'd replaced it once already. If you remember, I walked out and told you that that was brand new. And we were looking at it and it didn't look new to us.
Now it begs the question, why is this intercooler so nasty in 4,000 miles?
The only thought I could have was that hot side pipe before chuck full of oil, had a 1/4 inch of grime through the whole
that's
thing.
true.
Javis removed it and cleaned it.
Oh, that's true. Oh,
So if that wasn't cleaned beforehand,
it came loose and
it's going to just suck all that old crap in there.
the mystery is solved. I hope.
It'll be solved.
That's good. That's so good. I'm so glad that you're right. Javis, we even talked about that. Javis said that inside of that charge air pipe was
Bad.
just thick with crap.
Bad.
Okay, but now you're gonna say, because I gave an explanation earlier in the day about why we didn't clean the intercooler, and now you're probably saying, well, Dave, you should have cleaned it anyway. I'm sticking with no, I wasn't gonna clean it.
All right, so we got everything back together, did an oil change, pressure tested and filled the cooling system, and there's still a good amount of oil underneath the vehicle, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean that off before I test drive it. That way I can verify if I have any leaks. Yeah, but that's about it. I guess we'll see what's going on when we take it for a test drive. Yeah,
Oh, have you taken it on a test drive?
I'm about to right now. There's still a little bit of oil on the driver's side here by the oil pan, and then I just cleaned up where I was working at.
Would you steam clean it a little more?
Yeah.
I just spent like an hour or more on the phone with all these different shops that have been working on this thing, and it's painful. So apparently it got lost in translation. The second shop that did the turbo 4,000 miles after the first shop, that shop replaced the intercooler.
They did?
Yeah,
Okay.
and so that intercooler is new and it's only got 4,000 miles on it. So I was like thinking, like, how could it be that dirty? Because the turbo isn't leaking oil. And then I said something to Brandon about it. It's like, yeah, Brandon was telling me, yeah, the lady, when I told her she needed an intercooler, she was like, no, we just replaced it. And Brandon was like, well, I'll send you a picture. It's plugged up, it's bad. And she said, we'll do it if it's gotta be done. And then Brandon said, maybe it was the charge pipe. And that's what I'm here to ask you. Do you think there was enough crap and crud in that hot charge pipe that you cleaned ultrasonically that it could have come loose?
I mean, there was a lot. It was, I would say around the whole entire thing was probably about that thick when I would put my drill brush through it.
So Brandon just told me that the woman has sent him the pictures of the intercooler. I'm gonna go look at them. So this is her old,
As far as the,
oh man.
is that what you're talking about?
Oh, that thing is just nasty. I hope this video, if you don't get anything out of this video, you should get out of this. This stuff is not for sissies, man.
Are you there?
This stuff, fixing cars right, is sometimes very, very difficult. But you can do it, and we're not going to give up.
All right, here we go to Park City. We also brought a scan tool, topped on, just in case the codes turn on, we can see what's going on before we make any decisions on if we should stop driving or, you know, if we're good to continue, make it back to the shop. So before doing the Park City test drive, I went ahead and test drove it 40 miles. Just make sure I don't have any oil leaks or, you know, there's not something drastically wrong with the work that I did or anything like that before I take it for a 2-hour-long drive just to be safe. We're going back down now, headed back to the shop. I didn't notice anything weird. Vehicle drove just fine the whole way there and back so far, so keep my fingers crossed.
He's taking this up to Park City and back.
Okay.
Said it's drove fine, no check engine light, plenty of power, no, temperature's good.
Good.
And he's gonna pull it in now. My question to you is, did you see the picture of the original cooler? Now, the reason I didn't think it replaced is I still haven't seen an invoice from it.
Yeah.
But apparently somebody bought it, supplied it, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
But we now have pretty good confidence that the intercooler was replaced on the second turbocharger replacement, the one that was done in, I'm trying to get this,
Yeah,
is so
if
confusing.
they're-
Tucson, Arizona.
Okay.
Okay, the guy that did the original turbo in California that failed in the Tucson, Arizona, he didn't do it. He didn't even look at it.
Yeah.
So that's okay.
Yeah,
It is what
whatever.
it is. But they were kind enough to talk to me on the phone.
Okay.
So I actually talked to 3 different shops yesterday.
Okay.
It hurt my brain, dude.
Yeah, trying to piece it all together.
Okay, that's good right there. No oil leaks either, huh? No oil leaks, all good. We looked underneath there. Dude, give me some, come on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that. Okay, so apparently Javis did some research on this, and there's a low side and a high side EGR. flow.
Okay.
So you've got, we'll call it filtered after the after treatment
Yeah.
EGR, and then pre after treatment EGR.
Yeah.
And was that all undone because of the tune that the guy did, or?
Yeah, from what I've seen and from previous videos, most of the def injector has already been unplugged, and both of the valves were unplugged as well.
Okay, so it begs the question, Tyson.
Yeah.
Why are the intercoolers getting gummed up like that?
So one of the hard things is, one thing we noticed is the pipe was all nasty, dirty. So you replace one thing, but you don't clean anything
Upstream.
upstream of it. Where's all the crap gonna go? Back in there.
How wet was that crap in that pipe?
It was.
Pretty wet
Yeah.
Yeah.
and loose and crap. Did it look like it was packed up in the intercooler?
Yeah, it definitely was.
And then, we don't know the time frame as far as, okay, it had a new one. Did the new one get all gummed up before she took it to the other place and
no, the new intercooler
Okay.
was replaced by the last place she had the second turbo done.
Okay.
Now, again, everybody, we have not replaced the turbos on this. The turbos, we disassembled them. We found the oil leak situation. We repaired all that. We inspected the turbos. They were fine. That's when we found the pipe in the back full of crap and the intercooler that we were under the impression, because we had an invoice with a bunch of parts on it and it did not have an intercooler on it. And so it got lost in this translation. She said she told the service writer but never told me, and blah blah blah. So that's why we put another intercooler on it. And I've already explained to you why I didn't clean it. And I'd still stick behind that. However, what should we do? You know, what can we do to confirm that we've got this thing fixed and that we're not going to be mucking up another intercooler in the next 5,000 miles? What are we missing? And that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. I think, you know, of course, take it for a real good test drive.
We've had it up to I-80. I mean, how many miles is that back and forth? 70, 80 miles?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and that's a heck of a pull up that Party's Canyon. And he said it just went up there lickety split, no problem?
I didn't notice anything coming out of the tailpipe anymore.
Underload or any of that?
No, and I checked really good on the way back here. Once I got on the frontage, I ripped on it, and I was watching my side view mirrors the whole time, and I didn't see anything coming out. So,
Well, another thing, how long did they have to drive it in limp mode to where it is just trying to get to where that could have caused contamination as well, you know?
Okay, so I guess what we do at this point, it would be nice, this is in hindsight, it would have been nice. There's no way to bore scope that intercooler easily, is there?
actually, I think that we probably can. All that's holding on, if I can get back there, there's one nut that's holding a clamp, and then I can push off the hot side pipe and then stick a bore scope in there. So maybe we can put some more mileage on it. We've already verified that it'll do Parley's Canyon, and we don't have any codes at this time. I think maybe we just drive it a little bit longer, and then just pop that tube off and check in there and see if it's building up debris quickly, because obviously if it filled up that intercooler that quickly, we'll definitely be able to notice
it pretty within 1,000 miles for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell them if they'd like to do that, but that means they gotta like hang around and drive, you know. And maybe,
that might not be something.
All our fluids are good and up and ready to go. All right, let me call her, tell her where we're at with it. I'll tell her that, you know, that's an option, that we can recheck that intercooler by pulling that pipe off in a couple thousand miles if she'd like. And I'll let her know where it's at.
Okay. Sounds good.
Dude, you did I gotta quit saying dude, everybody give me crap about it.
I do it too, it's okay.
James, you did an excellent job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are you gonna put it up in the air again, or have you already inspected it?
So I think if we end up shipping it, before we ship it, I'll probably just put it on the quick inspection bay and take pictures and photos.
Why don't you do that right now and do that, and before I call her, just to double check and make sure
that we don't have any leaks.
That it's all nice and tight and dry.
Okay.
You're Angela.
I've been the one talking to you. But
I'm not as talkative as she is, so she is.
You're the one I've been talking to?
But I do the talking with you.
Oh, but I've been calling you Angela?
Yeah, but that's okay.
Okay.
I'm used to it.
Okay. What I wanted to talk to you about is, first off, thank you for letting us work for you. What a nightmare it was. I want to go back here and I want to show you some of the parts
Okay.
all the parts that we replaced. We drove it up to Parley's Canyon, which is Park City, and that is like the heaviest grade in Utah to get from the valley up to Park City. They call it Parley's Canyon. And that is a monster of a pull up there. It ran fine, no problem, no check engine light, brought it back here. Everything's fine, transmission temperatures are fine, it ran great, no check engine light, everything's fine. The smoking's gone.
Oh.
You don't have any, the smoking's all gone. You don't have any of this. I noticed some pictures that you sent, and I was looking over where the back of the van was nothing but oil.
That's when that first oil leak happened. Yeah.
Yeah, we've steam cleaned all that. There's still a little bit of oil up inside the frame where it just kind of blew inside the frame and things like that, but it is, it's done. It's clean as a whistle. But this is the other part of the conversation that I wanted to have to you face to face. You got a van that's got 400,000 miles on it. I have fixed your oil leak and that turbo actuator and replaced some things like the intercooler and cleaned out the pipe and things like that. but I haven't rebuilt the engine. I haven't replaced the brakes. I haven't replaced the alternator.
Yeah.
I haven't replaced the transmission. I haven't replaced the rear end. I haven't been. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
We knew all that stuff was coming. It's just been part of
I'm
us
not-
with the same stuff.
Yeah,
Over
I-
and over again. We could handle new stuff, but
If it was little at a time.
the
But
same
Yeah.
stuff.
And I'm not saying you got problems with that, because that thing drove great up to Parks. That's about 80 miles from here round trip. I didn't feel confident with this thing dumping as much oil as it was, taking a test drive up Parley's Canyon before I fixed the oil leak. And to fix the oil leak, I had to pull the turbo off, and that's why I just replaced the actuator while it was off.
Yeah.
Come on back here. I'm going to show you. Let's go back. I want to show you. You sure can? And I can introduce you to your surgeon. Javis, I want you to meet these two fine ladies that you have changed their life. Where, by the way, where's all the parts for that car? Now, the guy in Arizona, when I talked to him on the phone, by the way, everybody, I was kind of shocked. Everybody was willing to talk to me.
And everybody's so nice. That's
Yeah.
why it's so hard. I mean, I want to trust you and believe everything's good to go, but you see, everybody's so nice and been so helpful.
and then
And
it's
then
just
everything falls apart. So we're
Well,
we're
he was-
crossing our fingers.
He was saying, because, okay, the Arizona guy fixed you, got you out, and then he had to tow the van like 100 miles back to him because it had an oil leak. Is that right?
because that,
That was
turbo
it.
thing
Right.
broke
Yeah.
after he fixed it.
He said that he called the dealer, and the dealer said, "Oh yeah, we have a problem with these," and he said that they fail or something, the brand new ones,
Yes.
and so we replaced them again with brand new Mercedes lines.
Yes.
I don't know where, they're failing.
I guess how it fits, that it has to fit just certain.
Well, it does. Yeah, they have to go up in there, right? But he said that the welds were failing or something, but I don't know. But anyway, they were replaced. This is that actuator that we weren't able to test, but we replaced it with a new one.
Okay.
Now this is that intercooler that I thought was the original one,
Yeah.
because of how pretty it is.
and
Yeah.
now that's
Gosh,
what
it's thick.
that's what it looks like. That's what it's supposed to look like.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, what's coming out of it?
Oh yeah, and coolant. This is coolant runs through it to cool the air. So that's just your red coolant from the car. But all that buildup and grime. Now this is what so you had that replaced in Arizona
Mhm.
when they did the first turbo. Then you had an oil leak. He towed it back. He fixed the oil lines. How many miles does that have on it?
Let's see, we went to Colorado, Washington, Nebraska, Alabama, Florida, Nebraska,
A lot.
and then
So-
here.
So more than 10,000, do you think, or right at?
Yes, because it was needing an oil change again.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, right about 10,000.
All right.
And you
Here's
saw the pictures,
Probably
right?
a little bit less than 10,000, but yeah.
Okay, let me tell you something. The turbo's here, your engine's right here. Okay, the engine's like right here. Turbo's all that big chrome looking aluminum foil
the
stuff
passenger
on the
side.
passenger side. Then you got they call it a charge pipe that runs around the back. That charge pipe had a 1/4 inch of crap and goo in it that was never cleaned. Now, they should have cleaned it.
Rubber?
Huh?
Is that rubber?
No, it's the stuff that was blowing from the turbo that filled that pipe up and ruined the first intercooler.
Okay.
So I'm wondering, is that loose stuff that came out of that charge pipe? That's the only thing we can kind of say is that's why that's so nasty in there.
Mhm.
But here's what I would recommend you gals do. I would think in 10,000 miles, in order to see inside that, we have to undo a clamp on this side, run a bore scope. It's a flexible. It's like what a doctor uses to look up, your intestines. So we'd run a bore scope in here and take a look at that, because if that's getting plugged up again, it means you're pumping oil somewhere into the exhaust system. That's what that means.
So should we come back by here and have you look at it, or?
See this look on my face. What I don't want is for you guys to spend any more money than you have to.
Yeah. We are.
It's a concern to me, though. The only thing I can think of is why this new intercooler is so gunked up like that is that they didn't clean that charge pipe and it just came loose and
I'm
just.
sure they did.
And it's clean now.
We ultrasonically clean. It's clean. It's a hunk of metal. It's just a steel pipe.
Oh,
you know, all it needed was cleaning. So yeah, we got it crystal clean. We even used oven cleaner and a brush. I mean, it's clean.
Thank you.
I'm thinking that it didn't get clean, but I am worried because I got a motor with 400,000 miles on it that the thing's pumping a little oil. But however, you got no smoke out the tailpipe. I mean, going up a mountain island is just as clean as a whistle.
That's amazing just
Yeah.
in that alone, to be
Yeah.
honest.
We're gonna go out and start it, you know. But did I miss anything? I think that's it, really. That's our concern. Is like, okay, you're gonna have to put 10,000 miles on it. You'll either get a low boost code, because what that'll eventually do is that won't allow the airflow to happen, because the turbocharger pushes all its it's pressured air through here. It comes out here and then it goes into the engine.
Okay.
That's
So it's kinda like a
the
filter?
flow. It's an intercooler. It cools off the air,
Oh, okay.
but it acts like a filter because those ribs get plugged up. I'm just saying, if you get a boost code, let's do that. If you get a boost code, I want you to call me.
Okay.
That's what we
And
have
then-
that code reader in there for,
Yeah.
is to know what a code is, because they shut off.
It reads the code for
Because
us.
sometimes they go away and then we don't know what to tell a
Right.
mechanic.
If you get a low boost code and you're in Tennessee or wherever,
Huh?
I will talk to your shop and I will tell them I want them to undo this clamp, put a bore scope in there, and then look at that first before they fix anything.
Okay.
We'd need to
Okay.
verify that this thing isn't full up of crap again.
So we get that code, we need to handle that like ASAP.
Yes.
Not try
Yeah.
to get to a certain place.
Yeah, we'll find a decent shop, but that's what I would tell them to do, and I'll be happy to talk to them and walk them through that. Okay?
Finding a shop that will touch a Sprinter is hard.
It's very hard.
I know
So
it is.
hard.
I know. All right, let's. I'll put these in a bigger box if you want to take them. They're junk, but you know, they're yours if you want them.
I don't want it. We were only saving it because of that other guy. We were hoping somebody would help us.
Yeah.
That's why we were saving.
We'll keep them for a week. Then, if you guys want us to ship to you, we will.
Do you want to just take them, or?
And then obviously we have inspection
Yeah.
reports and stuff.
Yeah, we'll
Like
take
the
'em.
work that was done, so you guys can always reference that instead of just keeping the parts.
We can add them to the turbo and the other intercooler box.
Yeah, we'll just keep
We'll keep it all.
ongoing. If you
Do you
need
want 'em?
Parts. Yeah, she wants them.
Okay. Find a bigger box and put it all in there.
And if
And
you could bag it first. And
yeah.
Yep.
Will you do that? Okay. While he's doing that, let's get the keys.
We were just so ready to go back to work.
So, what do you guys? Are you guys just hotshot drivers? Is that?
Yeah. We drive and just all over the states, like overnight deliveries. A lot of government jobs.
I tell you what, you get in there and start that. Come on over here. I'm going to show you a few things. Come here, I want to show you something. So you understand, these are your turbos over here. And this charge pipe that I'm talking about, you can't see it, but it runs around the back side of that motor. And there's this intercooler, right there. That's the intercooler. That's that thing that's all gummed up.
Yeah.
So there's a pipe that hooks to that runs around the back side of the motor. That's what I'd want to look at, the inside, the inlet side of that intercooler if there's an issue. I'm looking underneath of it. But see, it's not smoking. So when you guys go to take off, or you're gonna follow her, accelerate and you'll see. I mean, you might just get a little puff, you know, like any car does at first, but it's not blowing smoke or doing any of that crap like it was. Anyway,
It's not embarrassing.
it's not embarrassing, and you're not causing environmental harm. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I'm here for you.
Thank you.
I'm a phone call away. We'll do what we can to help you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys.
So look, if you like nightmare stories like this, or you know, just you like us following the trail wherever it leads and not giving up, please follow us, and appreciate it.